who was probably licking his wounds under the sea, like all kaiju do.
I'm from the ocean floor, slept millennia or more. Now it's time for endless war. I am Kaiju.
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving back into r/NeckbeardStories. Actually, it's from my personal subreddit, r/ReddXReads. But hey, that's all good. It's still quite delicious. I do guarantee I haven't vetted the story myself, but it does bring to mind the Kaijubeard saga, wherein I think Zuka referred to Paul Bunyan as the first American kaiju or something like that. And that just cracked me up. It sticks with me to this very day. So when I saw the Ballad of Kaijubeard, not only is it supposedly a ballad, but it also has the Kaijubeard part, which I'm extremely curious about. So it brought to mind some good memories, and I figured that we should get this saga started up. There are 3 parts currently. Right now we're jumping into part 1, but we'll get through it all eventually, I do guarantee it. So, first things first, let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some neckbeard cringe and see what exactly it is we got here. The Ballad of Kaijubeard, Part 1, The Neckbeard Menace. Is that a Star Wars reference? Is that what we're doing? Hello, everyone! First post here, and on Reddit as a whole. So, you know, sorry for the format or bad grammar. English is not my first language. Blah, blah, blah. I should really buy some stock in Reddit with how many people I end up dragging to this website. I discovered the videos of Senor ReddX, and consequently, the term neckbeard. Wow. I'm happy, but also sad to broaden your horizons in such a way. Don't get me wrong. In my country, this definition is not known. We know otakus and weebs, nice guys, incels, but the closest we have to neckbeard is cabasso, which I did look up how to pronounce. In fact, in recent years, I've noticed that as a teenager, I might be on this spectrum, but self-knowledge is the key to evolving as a better individual. However, maybe my story can wait. As I often tell people who pose this question to me, am I a neckbeard? If you have the wherewithal to even ask the question, then you're probably on the safe end of the spectrum, if, you know, there at all. Beard light, as we call it. The reason that I write this post is that watching these videos, especially the saga of Pajama Beard and Sir Sam, I realized that in the last few years, I had contact with a strange type, who I will call Kaijubeard, and you will soon understand why. P.S. I just realized that I was writing the sequel and noticed that Godzilla 2 came out in 2019 during my first semester. Because of the quarantine in my country, I got confused, but yeah, it was 2019. Let's go to the stars, with fake names, of this very long tale. First up is OP, that's me. At the time when these events took place, a 24-year-old guy changing studies for game development classes at university. I'm creative, good with character and world creation. I love writing, but I'm terrible with programming. That definitely sounds like the hard part to me as well. Claire, ML for Belady, an 18-year-old classmate entering university. She liked anime and games, just like I loved drawing and creating ideas. She was very excited about the idea of being able to focus her creativity into games, so we became fast friends. She was short, 1.6 centimeters. No, bro, meters, right? I'm pretty sure. Despite saying that she looked like Owen Wilson. She was pretty and blonde, and these traits will be important later. OP cracking me up already, man. Kaijubeard, the bloody beard from these events. He was 20 years old, I believe, about 1.6 meters. He was a white and plump guy in all his magnificence. Also, he was one semester ahead of us in this university, very much a fan of Legend of Zelda, anime, and of course, kaiju movies. Well, it was the first semester of university, 2019. I was working, and during the first month at university, I was without a group, but I was interacting little by little with select people. Let me tell you something about universities here. It's common for them to separate subjects into semesters and keep taking turns and mixing classes so that they don't need to hire new teachers for more classes and don't need to build more classrooms. In this case, my class had to mix with a third semester class. I arrived tired every day because I used to work in the department of a bank, which I hated. My routine was to take a bus at 5 a.m. and go to university from 8 a.m. until noon and work up until 9 p.m. resolving customer complaints at National Wide, which I assume is the bank, arriving home at midnight, tired, but I'm also an insomniac, so with luck, I could sleep like 3 to 4 hours, and that's why I was always late. Well, I'd tell you to not quit your day job, but it looks like you're setting up the steps to quit your day job. So that's good, that's responsible. Proud of you, OP. One day, I got to university a little early, and the room was full. We were usually around 48 students in the classroom, and we had 60 seats to share among us, but today we were approaching like 80 people. I took a chair from another room, like, okay, just accept that your morning will be a little weirder. And oh, how it was. And I sat down next to the door with my back to the entrance. And then comes Claire, m'lady, who, without many options, sits in front of me with the same face as, okay, what the fuck? We were quiet, just trying to understand why our classroom was so crowded. Apparently there was a problem, and they had sent a law and order class to sit in with us. It was at this moment when a strange and very dark presence arrives in the room. Is it really? Could it be? Yes, him. I looked back, and there was one more person. A fat kid with a weird smile on his face, an anime shirt and glasses, which in a game design class isn't that weird, but there was just something macabre about him, an intention, if you will. Quickly, a third semester boy across the room stood up, scaring the kid away, gesturing as if he were carrying a torch and pitchfork, threatening Frankenstein's creature. The guy, who we'll call Belmont, said, "Go away, bro! You don't belong in this class!" The fat dullard just ignored the situation because he had already seen his target, a beauteous and incautious m'lady. He realized for a second that there was no seat, losing the smile from his face to a dismayed countenance, where he was clearly processing what to do next. And then he went to the empty room next door, which Claire hadn't closed when she took her chair, and like us, he grabbed a chair, slammed it down right beside her with a smile on his face, and leaned into her. So it starts. It doesn't take a genius to understand that the third semester people already knew him, as they'd tried to reason with the workshop teacher to not let this guy in, because he was not from our class. Friday, who is our professor, tried to reason with this freak, but ignored it after seeing that this little shit was determined to stay in the room. So I started to draw to pass the time, but soon the situation in front of me caught my attention. Kaijubeard.
So, my lady, what a day, huh? Is this your class?
A confused m'lady. Yep. Kaijubeard.
Nice. So, my lady, do you like anime?
Milady? Yeah? What about you? Oh no. Please don't encourage him. Kaijubeard leans closer to her, and at this time, even I, 60 centimeters away from them, felt the invasion of personal space.
Yeah, well, I like a lot of animes. You like...
Insert a list of animes here, and imagine that to each title he asks, Milady just answers very shyly that she doesn't know that one, and Kaijubeard just continues asking about another one in this sequence. Then Chewy, a third semester girl who was next to Claire, and in the future she does become a great friend, tried to talk to Claire and save her from this terrible conversation, and she commented on my drawing. And then we started to talk about drawing in a more fluid and relaxed pace, leaving Kaijubeard aside with static eyes on Claire, and again processing the information presented to them. Now, I don't read minds, but it was pretty clear what the strange gears in that beard's little mind were doing.
They're talking about drawings. 3 of them said that they draw. The other girl is showing drawings to Milady. Eureka!
And with all the dexterity of a drunken hippopotamus marking his territory, he grabs Claire's hands and says,
Do you have any drawings, Milady? I would love to see yours.
Exclaiming at the end,
They must be a lot better than hers.
yeah, that's the way to do it. Just shit on a complete stranger. You're winning points fast, Beardo. I didn't know Chewy at the time, but she looked at me with a very disgruntled look. And like Claire and I, she had anxiety and self-esteem issues. So that comment was taken personally. I think anybody would take that comment personally. It's like generally a shitty thing to say. And with that, Kaijubeard asked Claire again for the things that she liked. A situation that becomes recurrent the entire semester. Kaijubeard bombarded this poor girl with questions, digging for something, anything that they had in common. And this only gets worse with time. Oh boy, strap in. These questions always yielded answers in high tones of discomfort by Claire, even a little monotonous, which she isn't actually with our little group. She was really lively and cheerful, but always good vibes and generally calm. She was just trying to brush this beard off. Another 20 minutes of me and Chewy trying to save Claire from her weeb admirer, dragging her out of the boring conversations that Kaijubeard was trying to have. Once again, Chewy makes a point, pulling out her cell phone to show Claire a mobile game. Let's talk about games. Kaijubeard again was quiet in thought until he showed a glint in his eyes. Kaijubeard was evolving. Shit. Press B. He noticed that Claire was studying game design as well, and with the confidence of a fat Nintendista who likes Samus Aran hentai. He asks Kaijubeard,
Milady, do you like games?
The three of us were just in disbelief. I could feel the irony and sarcasm levels arising from all three of us in unison, building up from that dark abyss inside of us and suddenly falling on Claire. So Claire says, yes? OP with a smile in my voice. No, man. She hates games with the burning passion of 1,000 suns. She just got into game design because she likes to do things that she hasn't before. She got into game design because that's where all the money is. That's a joke, by the way. The girls laughed at my little outburst, and Kaijubeard went quiet for a second. No smile at all. He looked at the girls' smiles, and then he laughed too, trying his best to get along with the three of us. Kaijubeard,
I bet you must be really good at games, my gamer princess.
Oh, God, that one hurts. I think I just fractured my fucking spine. Woo!
Do you like Legend of Zelda?
Well, lady, do you like it? Kaijubeard?
But of course, it's my franchise.
Oh, you own it? That's great. Before he could finish,
It's my favorite franchise, blah, blah, blah.
Milady cut him off with a gruff but very calm, so no. Oof, that is brutal. You like it, so I can't like it now. God damn. Kaijubeard took critical damage, wounded and bewildered by the negative answer that had pierced his neck, making his beard's natural defense ineffective against this shy Amazon queen's powerful spear of irony. We were dismissed for a break, believing that the beard's morale was outright dead. Or so we thought. That's not how beard morale works. From beyond the grave, he's coming back. I want to open a parentheses to clarify a few things for you, dear reader. This was my first contact with Kaijubeard. Actually, the very first hour that I had spent with him. Claire already knew him because the day before we had no class, but she went and stayed in his class, where he and another beard friend of his just stared at her for hours. I apologize for the long post, but I have clear and vivid memories about this fateful day, so I do hope that you're enjoying it. And I am. Very colorful, very evocative. I'm loving it. After a break, knowing each other and discussing what happened, we set up the gang. Belmont, who was the guy who tried to chase away Kaijubeard earlier in the class. D-Boy, the warlock who became my squire and partner in crime for the next few semesters. The now well-known Chewie and Claire. And we went to our next class for the day. In another room, with no sign of Kaijubeard, who was probably licking his wounds under the sea, like all kaiju do. After all,
Milady doesn't like my favorite game. How can there be any love between us after that?
the greatest insult, disliking a franchise that you happen to like. And then it happened. From hell itself, waddling down that long hallway on the floor, Kaijubeard comes, panting and crying out at the top of his lungs,
Wait, milady!
like a sweaty, sedentary thunder, rushing to catch up with us and cling to the side of Claire like an oversized, pale, chubby leech. OP, dude, don't you have a class to go to? Kaijubeard?
No, I sweat a lot more than the teachers, and it's the workshop that you guys did earlier, and I already did it with you guys. Plus, I'm a YouTuber.
God.
So, I'm already more successful than anyone in our classes.
Oh boy. I'm highly skeptical of anyone who pops out and they're just like, I'm a YouTuber. Like, yeah, it's my job too. But what do I say when people ask me what my job is? I said it a few videos ago. It's a personal matter. That's right. Because the next question is going to be, oh, what's your channel? And that's always awkward. OP, okay. So if you've won so much in life, why are you here with the mob? By the way, say it for the people in the back. What's your channel? He ignored my first question and arrogantly sent the name of his channel. His actual channel? Oh boy. Which today has 2,000 followers. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. On this channel, he posted dinosaur sound effects. What the fuck? Nintendo content, imitations of other YouTubers, reacts, anime event videos where he cosplayed as Link, Fat Link, and more stuff. But let's leave that mystery to part 2. Sitting at our table, across from me, at Claire's side, like the devil meme tempting the little girl in Santa Claus 1959. Jesus, OP, that's a deep cut. I'm gonna have to put that picture in so people know what's going on. We went into class, and with that, the third semester students started making fun of him with all the things that, because they studied with him 6 months earlier, they knew would upset him. Making fun of his cosplay of Link, a shield and a sword made of cheap plastic, basically a children's toy, a green shirt with jeans, a belt with spikes, and a green cap, asking how his channel was going. So, I don't participate in that. At this point, he was already a nuisance, but I hadn't seen the cosplay or what he was doing on the channel, so I just thought it was mean of the others to mock something that the guy put effort into. So naive of me. I mean, that's a good starting position. That's about where I would be at if I knew nothing about him, but my opinion would slowly but surely start to shift after knowing him for just a little while. One of the students mockingly asked how the video with Godzilla was going. Some of them laughed. Claire and I didn't understand. Ignorance was our blessing. Suddenly, Kaijubeard rose from his seat with an agility and suddenness that seemed inconsistent with the pink fat blob that he was, although now he was a vivid red. He stood up and shouted,
I'm gonna fucking kill every one of you if you keep laughing or talk anything more about my cosplay and my channel.
You did this to yourself. Why can't you see? The room was quiet, looking at the madman standing up in the middle of it, including the teacher who, at that moment, had probably accepted that, teaching or not, he would already receive his payment. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. For me, a guy who, before 11 a.m., was already mentally stressed and still had to go to work after this bullshit. And all this led me to throw D-Boy's backpack hard into the face of that asshole Kaijubeard, gaining his attention and getting no reaction. OP. Okay, big guy. First, you're not from that class and you shouldn't even be here. Second, consider the damn tone of the room in which you are speaking. I'm not deaf, and looking at everyone else here, it seems like everybody hears really well. Third, you're breaking into our class all day to hit on a girl who doesn't give a damn about you and disrupting a 50-person class. So sit your fucking ass down in the bloody chair and shut your bloody mouth. Kaijubeard tried to mumble a but, so I raised my voice again, and this time I rose to stand against him, to intimidate him, using my 5 centimeters taller than him to my advantage, somehow. OP, but the fuck? Grow up! You just said loud and clear that
you're gonna kill everyone here
in front of a fucking teacher who's quiet and doing nothing and in a room with 4 cameras. Try to do something and see if we don't all beat you up until you want to die. I fucking dare you. Now, sit quietly in that goddamn chair or get out of here, edgy boy. Hot edge on edge action. You'll be edging so hard. Never mind. Kaijubeard chose to sit down in silence. I apologized, begrudgingly, to the teacher, and the class started celebrating while I left to fill my water bottle. In my mind, I made the move. He would want to stay in the room next to Milady and be with her, and he would have to keep quiet, which, for a neckbeard, is still better than nothing, and not disturbing the class anymore for 40 minutes that day. And he couldn't do anything against anyone who was in the class, especially with everybody now watching him. I tried to calm down after getting my blood boiling like that, filling the water bottle, walking around the floor a little, with some satisfaction that I had at least put an end to the situation. But, as the first season finale of a series of unfortunate events would say, that's not how the story goes. I went back into the classroom. Kaijubeard was thankfully still being quiet, less red and sniffling, but his eyes were swollen from a crying that had already ceased. I thought it was weird, but he was pretty calm aside from that. Finishing class, we walked Claire to her place to make sure that Kaijubeard didn't follow, and I left for work. And so, this is how I ended my first contact with this beard. But it is not the last contact with him. I found out the following Monday that Claire, with all the mercy of her young, dumb heart, felt sorry for him when he started to cry quietly on her side, saying that
they only made fun of him for having a slight degree of autism.
Something that would become his shield for any and all crap that he did. So she gave him her phone number. Oh no! Which gave Kaijubeard access to chat with her whenever he wanted. So our nightmare continued throughout the semester. Sorry for the size, but I hope you like the cringe. Well, I showed you what I went through for just 4 hours. And honestly, I do feel better sharing this story here. And since it's a closed story in real life, I know that I'll be splitting it into 2 more parts. The continuation of this semester, including the dark origins of the profane name Kaijubeard, and the final part, the fall of Kaijubeard. TLDR, I went to university to study game design, but then my class was invaded by a neckbeard who, for 4 hours, tried to hit on the new girl and failed completely. The girl and I joined a group of friends, yet Kaijubeard continued to try and chase this girl, and while being mocked by the class, he threatened to kill everyone, forcing me to snap him back to reality so we could all study in peace. He made the girl feel sorry for him after crying, and she ended up giving him her phone number, and he started tormenting her and the rest of our class for the entire semester. Anyways, until part 2, have a nice day/week. Oh, what a boatload of cringe we've been delivered today. Blessed be every last one of us. What a terrible day to have eyes. God damn, Kaijubeard. I don't doubt that he is on the spectrum, but to see him using it as leverage for different things like this, trying to get this girl's phone number, flexing his YouTube account, which, by the way it's described as severely lacking, like, direction. Doesn't know anything about branding. He's just like, I'll slap all this stuff up here. And maybe people did subscribe for, like, the anime convention footage or whatever, but he never delivered more of that footage, so his channel couldn't grow, something like that. He did get to 2,000 subscribers. That is more than a lot of people out there would be able to do, so I gotta give him some props on that. But to walk around, flex that, say verbatim that it makes you already more successful than anyone in our class, like, you don't think people are gonna call you out on that, bro? Jesus Christ. If you want to be a YouTuber, bro. You don't need a game design class to be a YouTuber, okay? But you do need to have focused content that isn't like, what is it? Dinosaur sound effects alongside Nintendo content. Like, nobody even knows what the fuck is going on with this channel. Of course they're not going to come back for more content because they don't know what to expect. Yeah, but I'm sure I'm wasting my breath. Even if I sat down and tried to explain it, I'm not sure that this dude would, like, fully grasp any of it anyways. Part of me shocked that he made it to the 3rd semester of a game design college. Brazilian game makers have put out some bangers, okay? Chroma Squad, that's like one of the best games I've ever played. Like, turn-based tactical RPG. I play Horizon Chase all the time on my Switch. That is from Brazil. Heavy Bullets, oh, that's a classic. God damn. The game feels low budget, but they kind of embrace that, and that's a beautiful thing. I love that. Hope to see some more good games coming out of Brazil, but I know that they are not going to have Kaijubeard involved with them. Sorry, it's just a fact. People would likely be way more willing to help you if you approached your YouTube channel and your game design career with a bit more humbleness, you know? Don't come out of the gate with, oh, my 2,000 subscriber YouTube channel makes me more successful. Like, are you sure though? I do have my doubts about OP's like monologue towards the beard. Really what actually happened is he probably threatened to kill everybody and then everybody just laughed at him. But I'll definitely be looking forward to digging more into the twisted psyche of Kaijubeard in between the twisted psyches of Stratbeard and the long tail of shorts that we have going on, which is probably what I'll get into tomorrow. But I hope you guys will look forward to that. I hope that you also like, comment, and or subscribe on this video if indeed you did enjoy it. Maybe share it around. It is the start of a series, which is always nice. You can get people in on the ground floor. I also hope you check out those links in the description. Plenty of plugs, lots of social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Oh, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I'd like to thank them all as I do every video. So thank you very much. Calvicus, Fatboy Shrimp, Robert Waits, TSM Kirby, Aaron W, Delicious Jelly Donut, Candy Sora, Fire Drake, Livison, Mr. Anime Manga Fan, Silent Revolver, Zero MMX, Magdala Marshall Thornrose, Little Lone Wolf, Vanilla Mel, Rouse Tower, Babsy Coon, Caustic Fox, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Fisher Diggy, Heathcliff, OG James Cook, a pimp named Jay Crisp, JM Coon, Jerry, John Hero, Miss Monday, Melgar the Destroyer, Mirthful Baker, my boy Nat One Nick, Lady Nix, Origami Steve, Katykins Elizabeth, Sidestep, Cider Drinker, Serrated Ash, Siegfried, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, Dead Duck and Bug, Fusky, Treeberg, Wilmax, Redwin, Goose Honk, Leon Embers, Naga Viper, John Indoors, A Normal Joe, A Roxers, Cake Jerry, that's a different Jerry. KJW, Kajow, Little Ann Woods, maybe next time, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Organic Cam, Princess Rosalie, Raptor Art, Steampunk Ellie, The Last Shinobi, and the Maestro himself, Zuka Cervantes. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel in the way that you do. It really does mean the world to me. I hope so other people out there will consider signing up on that Patreon because it does help out more than you know. But if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I mostly just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Like, I don't know, watching some more ReddX videos, if you want. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, friends, bye-bye.